What's up, traders? Welcome to Plays of the Day. So, we've got a very interesting market going on right now. And the goal of this stream is just to cover what's going on, cover some macro stuff, cover some news, cover some technicals, see how I'm trading it right now. And yeah, overall, just have a good time. So, I hope everyone is having a good day. Let me know in the chat if you guys are up or down and what you guys are trading right now. So, I'm going to be covering ES as that is what I primarily trade. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So I I will go over my trade first because I just had one trade this morning and ended up taking a loss on it because I don't know. I don't know if I haven't been reading the market that well recently or if I'm just not performing at my peak. So I took this short here, and it was literally a 30-second trade, and then got tapped out. I took this short because I have Bookmap now. I just recently got it as I was listening to a podcast with Scott Pulcini and Austin Silver. It is a good podcast, and it's just all about Bookmap and order flow. And what they say is that Bookmap in the level 2 is the CME's way of throwing the retail trader a bone and saying, we want you guys to succeed, and we know you're up against the big hedge funds and the difficult firms that have a lot more information, a lot more money than you. So we're going to give you Bookmap basically, which is just level 2 data, and that is going to be like your insight into the order flow. So I saw like 300 contracts down at 5,600, and I thought that was a clear, obvious target. We were selling off in the overnight. If you see this 15-minute chart, we retest the daily, push off. This is a very clean trade. I have won this trade many, many times, but today it didn't want to work. And so that actually killed my last top one accounts. So the first round that I got, was not able to take a payout on it. And that's okay. I just know that this is my opportunity, and I just have to make the most of it. So I'm going to purchase some more. Of course, you can use my account or my code if you guys need any. I'm going to be purchasing 3 more 150K accounts. And my goal with this is to take my first 10K month. Um, with the top one accounts, you can copy trade 3 and make $7,500 with 6,000 of drawdown, and then be able to withdraw 3,500 from each account. So that is the goal. I want to achieve my first 10K plus month in Q2. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it with prop firms. As you can see, I do trade a live account as well. That is kind of on the sidelines. I'm in a weird place where I don't know if I should be trading the live account or the prop account more. So, I'm not sure, but that's part of the learning curve. So I just got back from the Tampa seminar, which was a great experience. That was really, really awesome meeting the guys, meeting people like the Strong Trader and Zach Boyajian, Joey Morgan. It was a really, really great experience. I took a lot away from it, particularly for my individual trading. There was a few moments where I had some great conversations that showed me that, I do know what I'm doing, and I just need to think less and execute more. So that's my biggest takeaway from the seminar. And so that's why I'm not stressing about these blown accounts, like I moved houses and then came back to the month. Yeah, we can just go over this for a quick sec. So because I think this is important. This is an important metric for us as traders to be watching. So I came back, and I'm probably on my coldest trading streak ever. Like, I don't think I've ever traded like I don't even think I'm trading that poorly. I'm just not hitting. Like, my trades are just not hitting. So it's not even that I'm personally trading poor. If anything, I'm trading much better these last 2 months than I have been the whole rest of the year, even when I took my biggest payout yet in January. So I moved houses, and then I came back on this week, which was the Trump candle. This was the week where we were rallying and having 600-point days and whatnot. Honestly, pretty crazy market conditions. So I took some drawdown on that, recovered a little bit, and had a great week here, but then just right back into drawdown, not hitting trades, and ended up blowing the accounts today. So what's important for me to take away from this and to track the growth is that I have been trading the worst I've ever traded, and I had the accounts for over a month. The previous weeks, the previous months, I was blowing accounts. I was just kind of YOLOing them, like I'm just going to take a payout here, I'm going to take a payout here, and just putting on really large size. But with the top one accounts, set my max risk and locked everything out before I even traded. It's just a part of my DRC now. So that for me was a huge way to measure improvement. If I'm trading the worst I've ever traded, but I'm not blowing accounts, well, that's what's important. So that's what's important. That's how I'm measuring my progress, because I think it's very easy for us to basically get down on ourselves too early in our trading journey, and that's why so many people fail. I truly believe that. So just going a little bit into the market here, I want to cover short squeezes because this has not been an easy market to trade. And like anyone in the chat, how are you guys doing right now? Are you guys finding the markets easy to trade, difficult to trade? Are you finding yourself leaning in a particular bias? Because I think a lot of us maybe even, I'm going to use a strong word of expect another leg down in this bear run. We don't often have V bottoms. And if we just go to the continuous contract on ES here, I'm going to show you my higher time frame VWAP analysis, because I think it's a really important thing to note. This is essentially a V bottom where for 3 days we were holding at the lows and then just continuing higher. So we had I'll show you these two VWAPs. We have one VWAP from the start of 2024. And the start of 2024 was a very important one, as we had a retest, and a retest, and then a gap below and a slide. So that becomes a important moving support and resistance line for me. Now, the next key level we have is the low set in October of 2022 from this bear market. And now you can see how beautiful of a retest it was of this level. We retested once, twice, 3 times, and then this bull run just continued higher with no deeper retracement. So overall, I think when we were consolidating up in this range, a lot of us knew there was a slide that was going to be coming, some type of bear market, but what exactly is, the bigger question. So looking at it today, and how can we take advantage of the market right now? We can see that the all-time high VWAP had been resistance prior. We hit the year to date, or the 2024 year, bounce, hit the all-time high and reject. Now we're back in this same decision point. We are at the all-time high VWAP again. And if any of you trade VWAP like I do, you will know that this is a textbook long setup right here. And this is a breakout of VWAP and then a hold potentially. You never know at this point, but this would be a candle. If I was trading the 1 minute chart, I would be buying this candle, and I'd be basically trading it for a 1 hour back to the all-time highs, back to the high of day. So we can see this on the long side, but also, I don't know, a lot of us maybe are trading what we think. I think there's going to be another leg down. How often are we just going to find a bottom and then rally back to all-time highs, particularly with all the uncertainty in the markets right now? So getting back to the 15-minute chart, because I think there's a few important things that I want to talk about here with how the market behaves in these bear market type conditions, because it's been hard to trade, and I see it as just a bunch of short squeezes. I just see short squeeze after short squeeze after short squeeze from the lows. And most of the time, this is talked about in stock world, penny stocks. Oh, you got short squeezed, your stop didn't get filled, and now it's halted. But I think it's just as important to recognize the short squeeze on ES as it is on on the penny stock. So this is let's look at the 15-minute time frame, just because the 15-minute time frame gives even more like damn, this is just a short squeeze. So this is Tuesday, April 22nd at the lows, up 2% with almost virtually no 15-minute candle closures red, two bearish 15-minute candle closures. Next, we have a sell-off, then boom, another short squeeze. And the way I call it a short squeeze is something like this, where we don't get any retracement. Normal market conditions are going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. But when we have short squeezes, they just go like up with a small down and then continue higher. And that's a really difficult market to trade in, especially when you have key levels that are resistance. And like this, these are short squeezes. We're having short squeezes at the open every single day right now. How if you're getting into the market here, you're looking at this on the 15-minute time frame, like this is a beautiful retest of the daily, and we probably want to continue lower. Stocks are red, gap down, but that's not what's happening right now. We are having these short squeezes, which, I'm not the greatest market technician, but that definitely does tell me that buyers are here and buyers are certainly trying to take control. So going into the next point of what I'm thinking about right now, one, this could be a nice long setup here. This looks like a beautiful breakout retest of the New York VWAP and then continuing higher. So would anyone be interested in taking this trade? Me personally, I am not willing to take this trade in the live account this late in the day, as we are having a lot of Trump news. You can see right here, Trump is speaking, and we're just getting a lot of Trump news. So that's telling me that I don't have as much edge in this market, even though I do have Bookmap pulled up on next to me. Let's see what's going on. We got a CVD, so we got a delta of 2K, but we don't really have any orders above us. I do have it just on a different computer, so I'm looking at it on the side here. I see 200 orders. The orders that I was trading to at 5,600 are still there this morning, and they're still there now. So that's a good target to the downside if we do have short opportunities later. But I'm not seeing anything to the high side except for like 140 orders at 5,700. And I think it's really important to note that yesterday was the lowest volume traded in all of 2024, or no, sorry, all of 2025. So leading into this FOMC meeting we have tomorrow, I don't think we can be expecting huge moves, or at least I shouldn't anticipate and just read and react. So we had the Trump news with Canada here, what exactly it was. Yeah, signing some trade deals, timing of deals. China's economy is suffering with the lack of U.S. trade. China wants to negotiate. We'll find the right time. By not trading with China, we're losing nothing. So this is all relatively bullish news. So yeah, the trade entry that I see potentially presenting here would be the break of 5-day VWAP with a stop at that structure targeting previous day VWAP. You get just under a 1-to-1, but the 15-minute chart is looking like a great level. Again, I think the most underrated indicator is VWAP because it's just a moving support and resistance level. If you see, this is helping as resistance, and then now it could potentially turn into support, but from a slightly different level, or you look at it from a key level perspective that the 2950s turn into support. So we covered the short squeeze. Let's see what's going on here right now. Yes, we got FOMC tomorrow. Let's look at the Fed watch because we have basically no chance of a rate cut tomorrow, but I think tomorrow is really going to send us so when we looked at ES here on the daily time frame and we see we're right at this all-time high VWAP. FOMC, I firmly believe FOMC has the power to move us at least 100 points tomorrow, and if we go bearish, I think we're going to break this level here that has been support, turn to resistance, turn to support. I think this level is going to crack this 55.30 level if we do go down. And then if we go higher, we could go right up to this 58.40 level very quickly and be at new highs relatively shortly after. But there seems to be some dispute between Powell and Trump about overall just kind of what to do and whether they're doing the right thing or not. So it's really indecisive right now. And yeah, just how are you guys trading this? Because it's this indecision is difficult, and you can tell markets don't like it. Um, Something I just recently learned about is the COT report, which is the commitment of traders. We can see, let's see real quick, the commitment of traders report on bar chart. I've only ever looked at this once, but what this shows is hedge funds. It shows hedge funds, all the different large funds, and it shows their positioning at the end of the week. So they are actually the beginning of the week. So they send in their report on Tuesday and then it gets published on Friday. So I would be looking at the last week's, but I don't know how to read this number. I read a different number. There was a different thing I was looking at, but this is like the shorter term uh like I suppose this is like the easier one to read, but I don't know. I was looking at another video and it looked like a receipt with different numbers showing who's long and short. But I know right now a lot of the firms are flat in their position. So okay, so this looks like now potentially a good shorting actually opportunity where this would be rejecting the Hive Day VWAP, breaking the New York VWAP. Let's see if there's any news going on here because yeah, we just got to be really careful. So something another thing that's interesting from the Scott Pulcini podcast that talks about Bookmap is the optimal time to trade. And this is backed up also by other courses I've taken from Chris Cady and other important people who have, a good reputation in the market. So the optimal time to trade is from 6:30 a.m. West Coast time or 9:30 East Coast time to the next 2 hours. So basically the first 2 hours at the open is when we have the most volatility and then the algos kick in and the algos start chopping us up. And so if we take a look, let's see, this is the first 1 hour and then here's the first 2 hours. So I almost saw it as this is just algo chop right here. This is just sweep the lows, sweep the highs, sweep the lows, sweep the highs. And you can also see this is taking Hive Day breaks and whatnot. But really, this is just a consolidation zone. And if anything, you really just look at it. Let's see. This is for the last from 9:44 for basically 2 hours. We were in a 15-point range. Like that's pretty ugly trading. We're definitely waiting for FOMC at that point, but it's still ugly trading. If we look at this, this is also just another very tight consolidating range. So the whole point with them saying this is that you should be making your money within the first 1 to 2 hours at market open and then go on about your day. When I was at this trading conference, one of the biggest standout points to me was that all of them, every single person on the stage said, I trade the first hour and a half at the open and I have a hard cutoff and then I go work on the rest of my business. So, what that tells me as a day trader is I need to be finding that money when the liquidity is high in the morning, when the volatility is there, and then going on and moving on with my day and not like just know that the money is over. Like the easy money is over. And if you want to be patient and sit into trades, then then you certainly can. Um, but yeah, you could see like this is just we've had very choppy market conditions. It's been very difficult to read. So I don't know. I like have good targets and it's easy for me to see the obvious targets, but then it's like there's either resistance in the way or something that's making me second guess myself. And as traders, we already have so much doubt in our mind that we've like seen every trade setup go negative. We've seen every trade setup work and also fail at the same time. So now as we look at this chart, now I'm thinking this could break for a new swing low and then set a low of day VWAP and continue to trade this lower. If we look at the 15-minute chart, it was a really nice hold of this 5,600 level and kind of looking for this next turn as we are just in a short-term bull rally. I'd be looking for this 5,600 level to be taken to the downside, and then that would be kind of that indication that the next leg is coming. And that probably will come from FOMC tomorrow. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen with FOMC, but the market seems to have a way of kind of fulfilling the prophecy and just not always at the right timing that works for you. So we'll see if that ends up being a short play tomorrow. But personally, I'm not going to trade FOMC. I have a rule with myself that I do not trade FOMC. I have taken too many losses with the high volatility and high swing moves that FOMC causes. So I just know that it's best for me if I don't trade it, because uncertain volatility is the most difficult times for me to trade, really. Um, so yeah, no trading FOMC, and then I'm going to be starting my top one futures accounts fresh on the next week, going for that 10K payout. So let's just cover a little bit on my risk management and how I'm going to manage these top one accounts, because the risk management is important, and it's going to really help make or break your trading to a payout. And I'm just going to put the link there for anyone who needs any accounts, because so I have to make a profit target of $7,500, and I have a max drawdown of 6K. And the way I like to do that, the way I like to do this is I don't want to lose more than I'm willing to make in a day. So the profit target 7,500. Let's just do 7,500 divided by 5, because there's a 20% consistency rule. Divided by 5. Yeah, so max profit is 1,500. So if you made 1,500 for 5 days in a row, boom, you're at the payout. That is how easy it is with top one. You don't have to you really don't have to do anything else other than just follow the 20% consistency rule and hit the profit target. So my max profit's going to be 1,500, and my max drawdown is also going to be 1,500, because I don't want to lose more than I'm willing to make in one day. And that's going to be my risk parameters. And then I'm going to be trading with an average of a $600 stop loss per trade, because I'm on average hitting 1 to 1.2 R trades, 1 to 1.2.3. That's my number. So if I take a $600 stop loss trade, then that means my profit is going to be more like 750. And that is a number I'm comfortable with. And, this gives me two swings. Two swings on the day is extremely important to have, in my opinion. Sometimes our first trade isn't always our best trade. So being able to get back in and make that loss back has been, it's helped me more times than not. So that's going to be my risk settings on the top one futures account. And you can just kind of calculate that to whatever account size you have. But yeah, with all that being said, this is a pretty much just choppy market conditions until FOMC tomorrow. And I'll probably leave us with this here, because it's just a slow market. I'm going to get off the desk. Like I was saying, there's not a lot of money to be made right now. And when you look at it, we haven't really moved top to bottom that much, except for the news. Yeah, when you really look at it like this, I'm really trying to push myself to find the ranges that markets trade in. And yeah, this is just a 20-point range, or 50, yeah, 30 point range that it's just kind of consolidating in. So I'm going to leave you guys here with this, and, definitely hit me up if you guys have any questions or need anything from me.